Hey there, boys and girls. It's Ralph Garman, and you're listening to Talking Codswallop. Good choice.
Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Man. You might know me from the Tell 'em Steve Dave podcast and the I Sell Comics podcast. Listen, I love podcasting. I love talking, but what I really love doing is talking Codswallop.
Hey, I'm Alicia Witt.
I'm Daniel Portman from Game of Thrones. I play Podrick Payne.
I'm Ellipses, and you're listening to the Talking... Okay, I'm Mark Bernard, and you're listening to the Talking Codswallop podcast.
Hey man, it's Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, whose voice you were never used to hearing in the 90s until I started opening it up, man. And that's because I'm a podcaster and you're listening to a podcast, Talking Codswallop, right here, man.
Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma.
Hi, I'm Joanne.
Hey!
Hey there.
Yeah, that pesky James has still not got his microphone sorted. So the wonderful Joanne has joined me today, so that's really cool. Thank you. And we were just discussing, actually, this is the first time you and I have actually recorded on our own together as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just thinking I could actually pretend to be James. All right, my lover.
Well, that's my accent, but okay.
There you go. It's all the same to me. I do apologise for that. I'm racist.
It's all right. All Irish people sound the same to me as well, so it's all good.
Starting a podcast with a good bit of racism.
Well, you know, this is the only podcast you can get away with it on, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely. But, you know, we'll let you off this once. Maybe. If you never hear from Joanne again, this is why.
Yeah, just look out for a big hole dug in my back garden.
You mean come on, I'm not going to go all the way over to Northern Ireland and dig a hole.
Well, I was actually thinking maybe that sounded more like a euphemism the way I said it.
Ah, okay. What, like a glory hole?
Yeah, a big hole in my back garden.
Well, that is good. So how have you been, Joanne?
Grand. I've been doing a lot of stretching, which sounds a bit strange, but I have a sore bum at the moment from stretching. My karate sensei is making us do an awful lot of stretching at the moment to try and get our flexibility up a bit more for kicks and things. And my arse is killing me this morning. It's not this morning. This evening. It was sore this morning. I had to do more stretching exercises this afternoon, and it's really sore now. So if you hear any ooze, it's not sexual excitement. It's more my back garden's feeling a bit sore.
Well, yeah, no, I kind of feel that pain, but mine's more leg than backside. So, or gluteus maximus if we're going to be posh. But there's no reason for mine other than I've just been kicking a ball, for the dog.
What position were you playing? Were you left field or goalkeeper or what?
Well, yeah, I was going to say that's actually quite good. But no, it's alternating left to right leg and then just aiming for anything other than his mouth.
This is sort of like the sort of thing that you would do normally with James, isn't it?
I like to keep James under wraps.
I just have visions of James now bouncing down the garden. You throwing a ball. And James is, his wee floppy hair bouncing as he leaps up and down.
Oh, yeah. He sent me a photo the other day. It was a picture of him and he wrote, "It looks as though I'm going more blonde," or something like that. And I turned around to him and I went, "Looks also like you're getting a bit more gay as well."
Well, here, I have to say, he sent me the same photograph with the same statement. So, what can I say?
What was your response to it?
I said he's becoming more translucent because his hair was so blonde.
See, you went the nice referencing to your hair, and yeah, I went the whole, and you look more gay.
Did you get a thumbs up?
I probably did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's normally a thumbs up. The thumbs up really annoys me, to be completely honest.
Yes, apologies. I sent one the other day, but I can't remember what I was doing. It was in the middle. Oh, yes, I was running around just doing a photo shoot for a local camera club, and I was dressed as Catwoman at the time. So it was a bit harder to type anything when you've got claws on your hands.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I need to sort of explain. I'm not bothered about people doing a thumbs up, but it's the excessive use of thumbs up that James uses that's put me off for life.
Yeah, he's just... It's... James, I have to ask, is that your way of saying, go fuck yourself, or is it another form of just agreement?
I take it as agreement, to be honest. I think it's just, yeah, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, whatever. It's a meh, isn't it, really?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Bloody hell. I tell you what, it's a good job that the missus and the mistress have still got the same grievances.
I would like to know whose name he calls out at certain times.
It's Gabrielle.
Yes. Just to completely throw everybody off the track. Could be Graham. He'd be shouting out Graham for all we know.
He could be shouting out Graham. Yeah, that was going to be my second option. So actually thinking about it, after I said about that gay picture, not that there's any problem with people being gay. It's only that we're teasing James because he isn't. But yeah, that's the only reason that you can tease somebody about looking gay when they are actually not gay.
Yeah, generally gay people have really nice hair, and James's hair is fairly good. So yeah, I think it's a compliment for him.
Yeah. It was more the shirt that I was complimenting as well.
I hadn't even noticed it.
The fact that it was half buttoned down, and I was like, oh my God, he's either that or he's a pimp.
Yeah, maybe he's gone back to the 70s. I think we should buy him a medallion.
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely. And like, I don't know if he's got chest hair or not, but you know, we could like get him a rug, like a chest hair rug type thing.
He could be a very translucent Huggy Bear, couldn't he, from Starsky and Hutch?
Yes, let's do it. And there you go. That's his cosplay outfit.
It and Halston. Did you see whenever we were recording that, and then he sent me a photograph through of him dressed as Halston? I did. I cracked up, as we would say here. I laughed so hard. It looked like he'd just come out of Studio 54.
It did look good. Obviously, there's no dedication with regards to the fact that he didn't shave the beard off, but you know.
He also didn't do another thing that I suggested to him. I told him to put a bit of talcum powder around his nose. Yeah,
you did. You said that on the episode, didn't you? And yeah, well, there you go. He's failed us again.
James, come on, the fuck, son. What are you doing?
I mean, as somebody who professionally does cosplay for a living, well, not for a living necessarily, you probably don't make much money, but yeah, you know, when somebody does it professionally, you really should take their advice and go with it.
Absolutely. It's funny what you're saying for a living. I think my other half probably thinks that I do it for a living, because that's all I really ever talk about, or I seem to do. So it really is. It's like an unpaid part-time job for me. To be honest, it probably occupies more of my time, especially mentally, than my actual job does, because it's just so much more interesting.
Yeah, I can understand that 100%, because this podcast is exactly the same for me. Sometimes I can be a bit like, oh my God, where's the audio not sounding great and stuff like that. But, you know, it's like I like to give out a good product, you know, and if it's not perfect, almost perfect or perfect, you know, you kind of feel like you've let people down or whatever. So, yeah, I do fully understand where you're coming from. And I also understand about the fact that you have to pay out for these things rather than actually get money back.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say as well too that, like cosplay, a bad day on a podcast is still better than a good day in work.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a mediocre day at work today, so it's kind of like, meh, but but yeah.
Okay. No, my days this week we have well, as you know, people in Northern Ireland are generally mad.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a particular time of the year where a certain sort of the populace are completely mad, and that's the 12th. And it used to be that businesses over here closed for 12 weeks, and that would have been this week and next week. The 12th is Monday next week. and businesses would have closed down to celebrate this mad time of the year. And now there's very few places now closed for 2 weeks. But really what it involves is the Protestant side of the community going a bit mad and setting fire to things. Well, I call them bonfires, but I call them ridiculously large amounts of things that should be recycled. And then they have a band parade the next day, and all sorts of shit kicks off. That's absolutely horrendous. It's a bit embarrassing, actually, to be honest, to sit in front of the rest of the world when people are rioting and destroying their own communities.
Yeah, what is that called, sorry?
The 12th of July. It's a celebration of the Battle of the Boyne in 1690.
Okay.
Where, to be honest, I've never really gone into it an awful lot. I believe it's whenever the Protestant forces beat the Catholics' forces. But, well, I know that that's definitely happened in some way, but I couldn't give you the exact details on it because I've never taken any notice of it because it's just a completely mad season to me. I like the time off. We get a public holiday. I actually get a couple of public holidays, which is the only good thing about it. It's a bit like Christmas to me. I don't believe in God, but I still enjoy being off.
Yeah. Don't believe in God, but you like getting the presents, a bit like me, basically.
Yeah, well, it's the same with this. I enjoy the couple of days off, but I just don't enjoy the daft things that go on over here. Unfortunately, we're a wee country that has certainly progressed an awful lot, but there's still pockets of it that are just never going to get along with each other, both sides, and it's such a shame.
Yeah, that really does suck. Because, and it's all based on religion as well, which I now know obviously that you're not religious, but even if you are, God is God. It doesn't matter who it's represented. It could be, the Hindu, like the Hindu gods and stuff like that, the different ones that they've got. It doesn't matter what God looks like. It's just crazy because we all believe in the same thing, really, don't we?
Yeah, chocolate.
Yeah.
That's how I believe it. And I know chocolate's real. I've had it in my mouth. I've had it everywhere. Chocolate is real. Chocolate means a lot to me. I would open my heart to chocolate.
I do like the fact that you just said to me, though, I do have chocolate. I've had chocolate in my mouth. I've had chocolate everywhere. So now I'm wondering.
Just lie there, just covered in it. And it's warm at night. You can't sleep with anything on. You just lie there with a bar of chocolate on your chest and it melts before you know it.
Oh, the ways of romanticness.
You can't beat it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh dear. Sorry. I've almost got visuals, but I'm trying not to have the visuals, if I'm honest.
Oh my, no, that's just so wrong. So wrong. You never know what way things are going to go with me right now. Even I'm just thinking, brown sheets. That's bad, Joanne. Don't go down that route.
No, yeah, let's not. But no, I fully understand because we've got a very similar personality. So even if we haven't recorded on our own together, it's kind of like, obviously I listen back to the episodes that you do with James and I'm thinking, I would have said that. So we're an ocean apart, but we're almost like soulmates.
Well, we have shared the same man, so to speak.
Yeah, well, we have, yes, and neither of us have touched him.
Not at all. I touched his bag, but that was just for purely professional reasons.
Oh, that's all right then, as long as you only touched his bag.
I said, would you like to take your bag for you at Liverpool Comic Con? I can put it under my desk, and I did. So therefore I touched his bag.
Oh, you're so smooth. Obviously you were talking about the 12th of July events that go on, but because on your recommendation I watched Derry Girls.
Oh yes,
yeah, and because I wondered if because we could maybe discuss about that a little bit, but also there was a part where there was people that came in with drums, and I'm not very good with names and things like that, so you're gonna have to forgive me, but was that anything to do with the 12th of July, or is that
It might have been. Yeah, I seem to remember because I watched it last year. Gabrielle had been on at me for ages to watch Derry Girls. And I thought, yeah, I'll get round to watching it. But I kept watching everything else. And then one day we were up at her house, partner and myself, and she says, look, I'm going to put this on now. And we mainlined the first season. But there was one, I remember they get stuck. The dad takes the wrong route.
Yes.
Did he? And because I think because generally speaking, it would have been the Catholic community would have all gone in their droves to Donegal around about the 12th just to get away from the insanity. And I think the family are going to holiday in Donegal, from what I remember. But he takes the wrong road and ends up in the middle of a band parade.
Yes.
What about that? Oh, we laughed at that. That was just so funny because he's getting the evils thrown at him. And what happens is the roads are closed. You have to apply in advance to the Parades Commission to say, we want to close these roads. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be, we had a big cycle race here about 5 or 6 years ago, some Italian thing.
Yeah.
And just various gay pride, which is brilliant over here. You wouldn't believe it in this country, but gay pride's a big deal. What else has there been? St. Patrick's Day parades. So you have to apply to the Parades Commission to say we'd like the roads closed. And so it's usually, in advance whether a road's going to be closed or not, especially when you drive down somewhere and suddenly there's a load of police or barriers or something not letting you get through. So I'm not quite sure how he does it in the programme, but it was fantastic because they're sitting there just feeling really bad. And the orange men are walking around them, glaring at them and shouting abuse. It's a brilliant series because I think it reflects positively in Northern Ireland. I also think it shows as well that both sides of the community are really the same in the end. They have the same wants and the same desires. And there's even the scene too as well where it's a cross-community thing where they get together and they think that the Protestant boys are more horny than they are.
Well, yeah, I definitely. Well, I think the girls definitely are. Yeah.
Yeah, is it Orla you call her, the one with the dark hair who's always trying to ride everything round her? I can't remember their names. This is terrible.
No, I can't remember their names either. So we're just gonna describe them, and then that'll be absolutely fine. This isn't a celluloid codswallop, so we haven't got to be professional with this. So.
Thanks for that, because it's been that long since I watched it, and I have often thought, right, I must go back to watching it again. But I believe they're shooting series 3, or they have shot series 3.
That's good. Yeah.
Do you know what surprised me about it was the fact that there was a guy in it. He is one of the Derry Girls. An English fella who's connected to them, and that was a wee bit of a shock. I didn't expect that at all.
Why? Can I ask why?
I suppose because it was called Derry Girls. It was set in a female school.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So literally, I probably took it verbatim. Name of it, Derry Girls, and I'd seen a couple of photographs and I'd seen the school girls in it who are all in their 20s, but they do still look extremely young. And I didn't expect one of the main characters actually to be a guy. I love him. I think he's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, me too. I definitely do, because I wasn't sure if you weren't expecting it because maybe like the fact that he's English or in the fact that obviously he's a guy in the program's called Derry Girls. Yeah, but he, as we find out at the end of I think it's the last episode of series 2, it's he is a Derry girl. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter if he's got a ding dong.
No, not at all. He's one and you call him James. I've just looked up the cast actually. Orla's the one that's she's a bit eccentric and has the mum that's also a bit eccentric.
Yeah.
Oh, I love her. And it's Michelle. Michelle's the horny one. Yes, Michelle's the horny one. Yeah. And even Tom Tiernan's in it as well. He plays the dad. And
is that sorry? Because I was laughing and I cut you off then. Sorry.
No, Tommy Tiernan plays the dad. He's a great stand-up comedian. I don't know whether you've ever heard of him before.
I haven't, no. But I know who you mean with regards to the dad, because he was the one that the granddad kept sort of saying, kept sort of smacking down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always, I felt so sorry for him. No matter what he tries to do, Granda Joe always just takes the knees out from underneath him.
Yeah. The only time that they had a good moment was when there was the bombings on the TV, wasn't it?
Yes, that was the Oma bomb.
Yeah.
See, Gabrielle was in school round about that time, and she remembers that because she went to a Catholic school, so she remembers that at the time. I remembered. I'm a bit older, so I remembered as an adult, as it were, and it was quite horrific what had happened that day. That was the Oma bombings, and it was done very well on it because it was going on in the background. There was the kids having a fantastic moment together.
Yeah.
And in the time the troubles were still going on in Northern Ireland. It shows how we still got on with our normal everyday lives with this awful backdrop. And it just became part of everyday life. The not being able to get down certain streets, the army and the police checkpoints and the bombs. And sounds worse. I was going to say it sounds worse than it is. It was pretty bad at some points, but you still managed to find friends, and it's actually very, very hard to describe, really, in many respects, because I was born Protestant. I'm a Satanist now, but I was born Protestant. But I had lots of Catholic friends, and I didn't see them as other.
Yeah.
So for us, it was just a nuisance. You're trying to go places, and maybe you couldn't because there'd been a bomb scare, or you were being evacuated from shops. I remember as a kid, actually, we had to get out of a shop very quickly because there was a bomb. I was very, very young. I have very vague memories of it. I was looking at dolls. Typical me to be looking at plastic tat, and my mum said to me, "Look, we have to get out of the shop. There's been a bomb scare." I just wanted to lift everything as I was going out the door because I thought nobody would see. It's a bad way to be when you're 5 years old.
But I want this doll. Yeah.
You remember what it was? Just have very. Do you ever find that whenever you look back on things when you're a kid, it's very fuzzy around the edges?
Yeah, I do. It depends, because I mean, if something possibly in that situation, that would possibly be a stronger memory because something quite dramatic happened. But then at the same time, if you decide that you want to kind of semi-block that out, then it would become a little bit fuzzy as well. So, yeah, I can understand that. But it's interesting to hear, actually, from your point of view with regards to having seen Derry Girls, that it sounds like they actually kept it quite real. But also it was like the army coming in and kind of closing off the roads and bomb scares and stuff like that. It was almost like a secondary way of life, but it just was almost the normal. Yeah,
it's funny what you can get used to. Now, I did laugh at Michelle because there was I think it was a paratrooper comes onto a bus that they're on, and she really fancied the young fella in uniform, and I can completely understand that because we had lots of handsome soldiers, soldiers on the streets, and a lot of good-looking police. So it was a good time from that point of view. If you liked men in uniform, Northern Ireland was the place to come.
Yes, those sexy shoulders.
Sexy shoulders. Lots of sexy shoulders. Yeah, that was good from that point of view. I wish I had appreciated it a bit more at the time. Instead of thinking, oh dear, I better leave now, just in case anything happens.
Well, I think, safety is first. I think that's the most important thing. So yeah. So, well, that's good. Because I was going to say one thing that annoyed me was the fact that half of it was on Netflix, the other half's on BBC 4. So it was kind of like, Channel 4, sorry, BBC 4. I don't think it's been BBC 4 for about 20 years. But so I had to flip between the two. But I mean, that is literally the only thing that annoyed me. But also, I jokingly put in the chat as well that one of the characters, the blonde girl, I can't remember her name. Erin, yes. So, yeah, because I jokingly said, well, nobody told me that my friend Hayley was in this program, because she almost looks like the spitting image of, like, with different mannerisms and different facial expressions and stuff like that that she made. I was like, oh my God, that's Hayley. And I even said it to my friend Hayley, and she's like, oh yeah, I get that a lot.
I think it's the smile with her.
Yeah.
Something about the mouth.
Yeah, definitely. And also the nose sort of part as well, A little
upturned nose.
Yes. Yes. It's a very cute nose.
Yeah, you just go. the other blonde girl actually in it, Claire, you call her. She's sort of the one she turns out to be gay in the end, which I thought they handled that whole thing beautifully. I was actually surprised. Bearing in mind it was set quite a few years ago, I was surprised how well it was actually dealt with, her coming out.
Yeah.
It was really good, and it was accepted by all her friends. And in the end, it seemed to be quite the cool thing, which shocked me because I did worry about how they were going to approach that, given the nature of how it can be here. But it was handled beautifully. But she was actually in, oh gosh, it was on Netflix. It was a sort of like, oh shit, this is it. Here we go. I can't remember the name. It was like a fairy tale thing, set a wee bit like, not Edwardian. Oh gosh. I was going to say Brideshead Revisited, but that was like about 1 million years ago, and it's not it at all. Oh gosh, do you know what I mean?
I think I do, but I'm kind of thinking now.
Bridgerton. That's what it was.
Bridgerton, yeah, because in my head I was exactly that, because she's actually the writer, isn't she? But or that's what we think at this stage. But
yes, she is. Sorry, I thought you meant the writer of the series. Yes, she's the writer of the scandalous newspaper column.
Yes.
Yeah. She's actually 34. I just looked her up. My goodness, she still looks 12. That's absolutely extraordinary. She's 34. It's going to be quite a good series. Again, that was another one you thought, this will go down the same old usual stuff, Mr. Darcy type nonsense. It'll be a poor reflection of Jane Austen. But no, they kind of put a tweak on everything. I was quite pleased and quite surprised, even by how raunchy it was on a couple of occasions too.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this as well, because I mean, I love I love period dramas anyway, so you know it's kind of my cup of tea anyway. But yeah, I definitely like the twists and turns. You know, it was, and I like the kind of nod to different ethnicities as well, and the fact that it wasn't, you know, like with regards to the Queen, it wasn't like a typical choice. So it wasn't a white person, you know, because obviously the Queen, well, our Queen, is she your Queen as well? I think she is, isn't she?
Yeah, it depends who you ask over here, right enough, whether they recognise her. But yes, technically she rules over Northern Ireland.
Okay, so yes, obviously she's a white person. But yeah, it was nice to, you know, it was nice to see that it was, you know, different ethnicities portrayed during this program.
Yeah, I got the impression it was something I think the Queen had said, or possibly the other, the what's his name, the Duke, his aunt or whatever relation. That I got the impression that maybe slavery and things like that had maybe still been going on, and then once the Queen had met King George, fortunately it was poor mad George that it turns out, everything changed. Suddenly there was a black queen, and people weren't outcasts anymore. They were part of society. They were part of royalty. They were part of the one percenters, rather than just being predominantly white, classic white English. Suddenly there was quite an important black population, but it mightn't have been that long, because you get the feeling that maybe it's still semi unusual, just judging by a couple of things that were said during it. But it was very, very well done. I really liked that.
I did as well. I really did like that program, and like my mum watched it after me as well, because like obviously I've got a Netflix account, but like we've got it set up so that it's she's got her own sort of page and I've got mine, sort of thing. It gets on my nerves when with Netflix and with the account and stuff. If I'm watching something, or if, for example, somebody starts watching something and then doesn't go back and finish it, I'm like, but now it's going to stay on my viewed section. I'm so anal about things. So I'm like, oh my God, I have to get rid of that. I have to get rid of it. So it's nice now. She's got her own account, and, you know, like that I obviously pay for and that. But yeah, so she can do whatever she wants with hers, and mine is all nice and neat and tidy.
As well, you're not getting weird recommendations either. You know, it's not because you've watched this, maybe you would like this, and you're going, like that? I don't want to see these recommendations, and your recommendations could be getting lost.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't want to look at porn, Mum.
Yeah, not at this time of the night, not this sort of porn.
Old fart porn.
Those wrinkles. Too much lube. Can't be doing with that at all. Actually, there's a thing I just started watching today. Are you into Terry Pratchett at all?
Yes, I love Terry Pratchett.
BBC, I knew you would be. You just struck me as the type of Terry Pratchett-y type person. Love that man. Oh, fantastic.
Me too.
BBC iPlayer have The Watch on at the moment. It's based on Commander Vimes, the Night Watch, and there was a lot of screaming done about it when it was first announced because screenshots were released and the characters look nothing like you'd expect the characters to look like. I don't kind of want to spoil it for you, but there's a couple you might go, I don't really know why, but I certainly didn't understand it whenever I seen the screenshots, and I could understand why people were giving off so much because the City Watch I think they have a special place in everybody's heart of Terry's characters as a group, Commander Vimes and Lady Sybil Rampkin and all the other characters, Nobby and Colin and Cherry Littlebottom and Culper Carrot, all of them, and Gua. They just are fantastic characters, but they have taken these characters and changed them. If you go in thinking that this will be like they've done a couple of live action Terry Pratchett series, which I thought were slightly cold. I enjoyed them, but I didn't think that really captured the essence of Terry. But I sat and watched. I've seen about halfway through of the watch, and it's on the BBC iPlayer.
Okay.
And I kind of like it. I've seen people on Facebook, friends of mine who would be Terry Pratchett fans, saying, no, I don't like this. And I really wanted to like it, as a friend had said, but I just can't get into it. But I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued. I get the feeling that the people who are doing the acting maybe need to settle into the characters a wee bit more. There's maybe a wee touch of being self-aware when they're acting. But I think if they crack it, that it might not be a bad series. And I think also the guy that plays Commander Vimes is from here. Oh, sorry, not from here, not from you here, but from here, Northern Ireland here. That's it. Because I heard him talk and I thought, that's a Northern Ireland man. What? Commander Vimes is from Northern Ireland. Explains the alcoholism. Definitely explains the alcoholism.
Yeah,
definitely. But it's not bad. It really isn't bad. So I would suggest watch it. Let me know what you think about it, and go in with an open mind, just to see what you think.
Yeah, I definitely will. Because to be honest, I've gone back and I'm rewatching Call the Midwife at the moment because I absolutely love that program. It either makes me smile or cry, one of the two. But I'm kind of looking at things to watch at the moment. So I've finally got this Disney Plus back. So the reason, I can't go into full details as to the reason why, but it involves an ex-boyfriend and a phone contract. Let's put it that way.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, we haven't actually got into Codswallop, so we might have to do that in a moment. But that's a real life Codswallop that will be put on the editing floor. But but yeah, I'm laughing about it, but I'm not kind of laughing inside, if you know what I mean.
If I'm annoyed about something, I take my laughter outside. I stand in the garden and I laugh hilariously.
Exactly, that's what I normally do. So there was a couple of weeks where I didn't have Disney Plus because obviously I had to wait until payday. And so now I've got it again, but I still haven't caught up on Loki yet. So, spoiler free kind of thing. But I can't really comment. I've only got the first couple of episodes under my belt. So
I wasn't sure about that. I watched the first episode and I posted it up on Facebook. I don't understand what the big fuss is about this. I'm not really getting it. So many people said, look, just stick with it. And I thought, well, okay. I have a particular friend that he will always, usually when Andy says to me, stick with something, and I go, oh, I'm not really sure about it. And I've watched some of the best programs I've ever seen because Andy has said to me, you've got to keep going with this. And so I thought, right, okay, I'll start episode 2. And I thought, okay, this is better than episode 1. And I watched episode 4 yesterday. I thought, I'm really into this now.
Oh,
Why
that's good.
These doubts in the first place.
Well, I think that's okay to sort of have the doubts at the first place. But yeah, it's always right to kind of see if you can continue on with something, because I strongly think that as well, because how often, like if you were watching it as a film, the first 5 minutes you wouldn't know what was going on, would you? So It's kind of like, if you consider the first episode to be the first 5 minutes, it's kind of like that, really.
That's true. Actually, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of it that way. Yep, that is definitely profound.
Because I'm one of those people that you kind of like, I open my mouth, my brain kind of semi-connects, my mouth opens, words come out, and then I kind of think to myself after, not sure if I should have said that bit, but because brain wasn't fully connected. But then, yeah, ask me to repeat it again, and I'm like, But, you know, it depends on the situation as well. Because if it was like something, it was some sort of advice or whatever, I probably would remember what I was saying. But it was just general chit chat. Then, yeah, no, it goes out of my mouth and then leaves my brain completely. So I don't know.
important bits of advice like James, do up those buttons in your shirt.
Yes. James who?
James who? Who's that?
Might be an episode title.
James who?
Who's James?
James. Yeah.
Oh, I love teasing him, because the thing is that obviously I'd like to hope that everyone kind of knows this by now, but if I'm teasing you, that means I like you. If I don't bother talking to you, that means I don't like you. So, you know, it's kind of, obviously, you know, with regards to the salty tadpoles, I don't interact with all of them. I love all of them, you know. Yeah. Thank you for giving me your time. But, you know, like if it's on a personal level, if I'm not, you know, if I'm teasing you and not really interacting with you, you know, if I'm teasing you or, you know, joking around, then, yeah, that means you're part of the gang, you know.
Yeah. It's a good sign. It is. It's a good sign. I'd be the same.
Yeah.
So here, I want to say, what else have you been watching on Disney Plus?
I have been watching. Is it Star that's the thing?
Yep.
That's part of it? Yeah, I have been. I know I've been rewatching a lot of Family Guy because I absolutely love Family Guy.
Yes.
To be honest, it's been quite a while since I've kind of watched anything on Disney Plus, to be completely honest, because obviously it's been like, well, the last week. I keep saying 2 weeks. It's been a week. It's felt like 2 weeks. But, you know, I've had quite a big gap in between watching and stuff. But, yeah, I think there was something else that I was watching as well, but I really can't remember.
I had been watching the Clone Wars. I love Clone Wars, yeah. But the first few seasons have like about 26 episodes, and you feel like you're never going to get to the end of it. And the last 3 seasons, I think, it's only about 12 episodes each, something like that. But the last 3 episodes and the final season were just extraordinary. And it leads into The Bad Batch, which is the latest franchise, or latest part of the Star Wars cartoon franchise that follows on after the Clone Wars and after Order 6. And it's just so good. So anybody out there that hasn't watched it yet that's a Star Wars fan, make sure you watch Clone Wars first. And you'll get more out of it, I think. It's a bit like I watched Star Wars Rebels before I'd seen the Clone Wars. And now I'm sitting watching it and thinking, oh, that's right, this bit here happened in Star Wars Rebels. Oh, I wish I had known all that backstory. This is what fascinates me about the films. Haven't been so good, but the TV series and the cartoons are absolutely fantastic. And it's strange that way. You think, well, like with such a major franchise that it would be the films, you know, carrying it through. But I mean, with Marvel, I mean, I'm more of a DC person, as you can probably tell by the amount of DC stuff that James and I have reviewed. But I don't know, not another DC film again, for fuck's sake. But Marvel, the films are very good, apart from one Thor film, which was just dreadful. I couldn't get through it. I think it might have been the first Thor movie. They're generally very good, the films, and the TV series are generally very good. So there's none of this, well, that bit's good and that bit's good, and I don't really like that part. It's not worthwhile watching those films. But with the Marvel stuff, I think that's maybe why it's so popular, because there's a consistency through it. Star Wars and DC haven't always been good at that.
Yeah, I think, because with Marvel, because it is kind of like a story, isn't it? That it basically, they all follow on from one another. So, you know, like you watch the first Thor one, second Thor, you know, like if you watch it actually I'm not sure if this is entirely true, but I think the way that it's actually been loaded on Disney Plus is the way that they've been released. So it's kind of like, you got the couple of Thors, and then you got like Captain America, I think it is, or Iron Man next. I'm not sure, but but they all kind of interlink together, I believe. But then also, then obviously it goes on to like the Avengers and things like that as well, which is obviously all of them together.
Yeah,
So.
I wonder. I think don't they have the X-Men franchise back again? I think they do.
Yeah, I think I have seen it on there. So yeah, there's an awful lot of stuff to watch on Disney Plus. I need to get around to it basically. I'm not. I like Star Wars, but I'm not like a massive fan. I can sort of take it or leave it kind of thing. So it's not really too much of a deal for me. But I probably will get round to watching like The Mandalorian and things like that. But a lot of it probably will go over the top of my head because I haven't followed it, like religiously or whatever. But
yeah, there's that much. I mean, some people really get into a franchise, and woe betide you get anything wrong when you're describing it to them. It's like you've cursed their mother or something. They get very, very excited.
Yes, like I spit in the face of what you just said.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, look, it's a good bit of entertainment. Just let me watch it. And it doesn't matter whether I get it wrong or not. Just let me watch it and wind your neck in. Another very colloquial expression from here.
Yeah. Oh, no, we use that phrase as well, wind your neck in. I love it. It's a brilliant one. Wind your neck in, love.
Yeah. Pick a window you're leaving. It was one I had heard a long, long time ago, and I don't know whether I got that right or not.
Well, no, it's very good. I don't think I've had that one, but yeah, it's there are I think there are a lot of similarity, like with regards to the phrases and stuff that we all use. There's probably a lot that there's probably a lot that I use and that you don't use, and vice versa as well. But yeah, I think we're very similar.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But then, although you're a kind of separate country, you're part of the UK anyway, aren't you? So that's possibly why, maybe.
Well, we are for the moment. Who knows? I mean, see this Northern Ireland Protocol and all the business with Brexit. Trying to get anything to here now. Oh, good grief! You think actually we were part of Mars? In fairness, it's nearly like Northern Ireland has become part of another planet. Never mind anything else.
No, I know from a like work point of view. So because we ship a lot of like orders and stuff like that to globally. So we've got obviously orders going to Northern Ireland. We've got them going to Germany, blah blah blah, and and the customs. Like they get so held up at customs. It's so annoying. But unfortunately, it's just one of those things that we can't do anything about. Well, we could have if we rewound the clock and actually people who didn't vote voted to remain, But there you go. This isn't a political podcast, so we won't go down this route.
I'm glaring at you, people who were pro-Brexit. Look what the hell you've done.
Exactly. I hate you. I hate you.
Like people who voted for Trump the last time. Oh, Trump and Brexit, and then there was Trump, and it was just one of those couple of years where you thought, we're going to have aliens now invading. There has to be something else that is going to beat this surreal time that we're in. And what did we get? We got a pandemic. Just thinking about it, we didn't get aliens. We got a pandemic.
Yeah, definitely. It was, we definitely have had a challenging 4 years, haven't we, as a human race?
Just as sad. I forgot about that. I'm thinking, nothing really beat that. No, it did. There was a pandemic, and it's still going on.
Yeah. Although I am kind of like sitting here hoping. I know I said that we're not going to go into politics and stuff, but this is, the fact that on the sort of 19th of July, people, like Boris is going to say, the world's open up again, or at least the UK, and and we can wear masks if we want to. I'm still going to wear a mask because I'm not fully trusting of the fact that people who haven't been fully vaccinated won't necessarily wear a mask and stuff. But then also the fact that he he's probably going to turn around and say that we all have to go back to the office. And it's like, I really, really don't want to go back to the office. I want to stay working from home still, you know. It's like, oh, God, I really, really want it. So, you know, if anyone from work's listening, please make that happen. But, you know, it's I know nobody is. But, yeah, it's kind of one of those things that, you know, this is my normal now. It's like you trying to bring back a normal that is long gone, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, I get you completely, because I'm the same. I'm still working from home.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a case of where we'll be able to do certain days in the office and so many days at home. So we'll have a sort of a flexible working pattern that way. But yeah, being at home, it as you say, it's the new norm.
Yeah.
And I must admit, I haven't got bored yet. I just, maybe because I keep making, if I wasn't making things all the time, I might have been really bored by now, but it's great. I mean, today I was able to sand down a load of guns, Boba Fett blaster and a boomerang phaser from Star Trek.
And everyone, I know she's from Northern Ireland, but she does actually mean cosplay guns, not real life ones.
No, for Postman, I live out in the countryside, so it's not so bad.
Yeah.
If anybody listened to me before knows I live out in the countryside. Basically, I live in a field. I live on half an acre, so it's great, it's perfect, it's wonderful, but it is a wee bit rural in a good way, not in a banjo playing type of way. Yeah. So the postman has to come up to the door in his van to deliver things, and we have a double garage out the side of the house, and I had some guns painted and drying out the sun the other month, and one was an AK-47 and the other one was a handgun, and I had to explain to the postman that I'm not in the RA. I didn't actually put it to him that way. I'm not in the RA, but these are actual props. These aren't real. These are props. And they're for a cosplay. I said, look, I'll make costumes. I'm a prop builder. And he said, is that what you do for a living? And I went, not exactly. I thought, I don't know why that makes it sound any worse or any better. This is what I do for fun. I paint guns for fun. I mean, surely everybody has an AK-47. They just have happened to lying around the driveway. And thank you very much for not driving over the top of
it. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, don't mess with me, because otherwise, you know, I might shoot you.
Otherwise, I might beat you to death with a plastic gun, because there's no projectiles. I have some Nerf guns in the garage, mate, if you want. And also, thank you very much for delivering some of the other slightly kinkier looking gear that I've had to use for some of the costumes too.
Some of the costumes. In inverted commas.
Brackets.
Yeah. Oh dear, but yeah, it is always fun though, isn't it, to especially when, you know, you're ordering things off eBay and stuff like that.
Because it seems to be actually, whenever you look at a lot of costumes, I see either motorbike gear, because a lot of the boots are and gloves and some of the leather trousers and things, or kinky gear. There seems to be no real happy medium. Okay, maybe a cape. Yeah. Cape's not real. Yeah, I suppose a cape's normal, and from that point of view, but yeah, there's a lot of overlap there between BDSM gear, motorcycle gear, and cosplay.
Well, I have to say on the defense of capes, you know, they can be rather kinky.
Used it the correct way, they can be. That is very true.
Yes.
So just don't do anything with my capes, because Kate Mies-I'll-do Kato, who makes the costumes with me, would only cry if I would have said, by the way, Kate, I wrecked this one during some mad kinky escapade. Can you make me another cape? Tell me. A, she wouldn't be surprised, and B, she would tell me to go fuck myself.
Well, that's fair enough, I think, definitely.
Actually, because I've been outside a bit more, I have a Codswallop because of that.
Okay, well, let's get into Codswallops then. 53 minutes into the episode.
This will not take too long. I live a mile away from Loch Ness, which is a massive, I think it's one of the biggest freshwater thingies in Great Britain. But anyway, it's huge. But we have a lot of the wee tiny loch flies, and they keep coming into the house and dying in their thousands at the moment. And it's really, really warm over here. I don't know what the weather's been like for you, but we're having a bit of a heat wave at the moment, and it's quite humid. And I can't leave any windows open because flies come in and die in their millions. So there's my Codswallop at the moment, and they get stuck to paint. If I'm painting anything outside, they commit suicide by getting stuck on my paintwork.
Well, I mean, weather-wise, yes, it's been rather warm, but it also has been raining as well. So we're having a very typical British conversation here. But but yeah, although today it's actually been rather nice. So yeah, I've been sort of trying to keep the dog cool though, because he's black. So it's kind of like, obviously gets overheated. Yeah, but I also know what you kind of mean about the flies as well, because where I used to work at a hotel, there was, in the summertime, they used to have what was called the fleet fly, so also on a stretch of water. And yeah, it would literally, like, if we left a door open and the lights on, then the flies would come in and they'd all be on the ceiling, and it'd be like the ceiling was black from the fact that there were so many flies in there and stuff. So we had to always advise people to kind of shut the curtains and, try not to open the door if possible. In a room that hasn't got aircon apart from a fan that's only going to blow hot air around. So, yeah, I get that.
It would end up blowing air around and dead flies.
yeah, exactly. And it was child-friendly hotel as well. So it was kind of like, they were all worried that their children were going to get bitten, fly bitten or whatever, nipped by them. But we were like, oh no, they don't bite. But then people would come down and they'd be like, oh.
We were lucky, right enough. I mean, these things are kind of like almost see-through, because we have had, there's black flies that we get from the loch, but these things this year have like we see through, and they're minute little things, and they're just a nuisance, because as I say, with the heat wave, you just can't leave your windows open. I'm sitting here in the living room at the moment, and the spiders, that's the other thing around here, our spiders are like something from Jurassic Park, and with the amount of flies that we've had recently, the spiders are getting even bigger than they are normally. It's a bit scary. You walk up to the garage and there's these big bastards have spun webs everywhere, and they're absolutely horrific looking. And I got the Hoover out the other week because some of them were near some of my costume stuff that I keep up there. I thought I'd better get rid of some of these cobwebs. And the spiders appeared, and I had to stop myself from screaming like a girl. It was terrifying.
Do you not like spiders then? Or
I don't mind them. But whenever they get to the size where you think that they're going to be able to take down a grown dog, that's when I start to get really worried.
Yeah, they won't actually fit up the Hoover nozzle.
Oh, no. I would. Do you know what? I would actually be scared to Hoover them up. You bring the Hoover into the house and the bastards would just crawl back out of the bag again.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I never thought of that part.
Yeah, I just let them do whatever they want to do. I was actually having a pee one night. This is delightful. And one walked underneath the door to the bathroom, and I screamed and jumped. And I swear it almost screamed, and it jumped. So between the both of us, I don't know why he didn't expect to find me sitting on the toilet, but I certainly didn't expect to find this massive spider walking under the door and just stopping and looking at me. And because I jumped, it jumped.
Aww.
They're huge, absolutely massive here. And it's because there's good eating.
Yes.
Huge amount of eating here, yeah. It's great for them. And we've had an awful lot of sparrows this year too as well. And there we go. Another quick Codswallop as well. You're outside working on something and the sparrows are shouting continuously. All the time. Or they're fighting. It seems to be Fight Club around here for sparrows at the moment. You'll see them pinwheeling and spiraling across the garden. And I've never seen sparrows fight so much. I mean, the food seems to be good around here. There's a lot of food this year. But for some reason, the sparrows are really, really vicious.
We don't really have it as an issue with that, but we have got seagulls. So, seagulls are very, very vicious. So, yeah, that's not good. Although we kind of had a nature incident the other day, but it was more the fact that there was a not a bird of prey, but that kind of thing, a sparrowhawk, I think it was, and it caught a baby blackbird, and unfortunately the baby blackbird was still alive, but he was kind of being eaten up on our lawn, so that was nice. Luckily, I didn't see it though. Somebody else witnessed it and then told me about it, and I was like, I don't want to know.
We have 3 of them around here. We used to see one, and then another one appeared, and we seen 3 the other day. And so what we think is it's a breeding pair, and they had the young one out, teach them how to, ride the drafts in the wind.
Yeah.
And they're magnificent to see, but it is literally like having pterodactyls flying across the garden whenever they do come in. Birds scatter all over the place. The screams of the birds, because they're absolutely terrified, because really they're probably the descendants of dinosaurs. The non-avian dinosaurs that died out, and the avian dinosaurs were left behind, as far as I'm aware. Somebody's going to correct me and scream that I'm wrong, but I believe that birds are the descendants of dinosaurs.
Yeah, no, I think they are as well. So we can't both be wrong.
I would say that those pterodactyl type things that we've both seen, yeah, those are definitely dinosaurs. T-Rexes with wings is what they are.
Yeah. Maybe not T-Rex, because that might be a little bit wrong, but I can't fully defend you on that comment.
I like to pretend they're T-Rex. They're not the avian type of dinosaurs, they're T-Rexes as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, the T-Rex, poor T-Rex, he's got his arms up here. Now he's got to flap around with wings.
Very small wings as well, probably.
Yeah. Although that would be a pretty vicious dinosaur, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be a well fucked off dinosaur trying to get anywhere, running around the road there, flapping its wings as it couldn't get off the ground.
Yeah. trying to grab hold of people, but his arms being too short.
Just can't have a wank, dear help it.
Oh, poor thing. Yeah.
He's angry all the time and eating continuously.
I know. It's like trying to make the bed. I love the fact that you go for a wank. You go for a wank option, and I go for making a bed.
Could you imagine a dinosaur, what its talking Codswallop would be? Oh, terrible. She told me to pull her hair and I couldn't reach. Anybody who's seen that meme will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I definitely have. So I'm just trying to think if I've got any Codswallop this week, because I know I did have, but I think now we've been laughing and stuff, it's all... Well, actually, no, one's just popped back into my head. So obviously at the moment I'm feeling very patriotic. I'm not a massive sports fan, but I have been watching England play, and feeling very proud of my country. Well, my country, but I'm British, if that makes sense, because I'm half Welsh. And the half Welsh in me is still as proud as the half English of me. So obviously I'm, very, very happy with the score, what's been going on with England and whatnot. But I think my definitely is. My Codswallop this week is how when England have been playing at home at Wembley, the crowd has been booing the national anthem of the other country that's opposite. So like when Germany played, they were really booing. And I think that's so disrespectful. And it was completely unnecessary and just
terrible.
It is terrible. And it kind of gives us a really bad, as a country, it gives us a bad impression. Do you know what I mean? We're not all like that. But unfortunately, the people that were there, they were, especially when it was Germany, they were booing really, really loudly. And yeah, I just think that's absolutely disgraceful. We can just sit there. You can just sit there quietly for like, what, a minute, 2 minutes? Let their national anthem play. Get on your feet and sing ours if you want to, kind of thing. But yeah, it was really bad.
My God, I haven't been watching any of it, so I didn't know that. That is horrendous, because that's just the epitome of how people think English football supporters are.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, because we're all thugs and stuff like that, and that gives the impression that we are,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, and yeah, unfortunately, it's not unfortunately, in a way, it's not a true reflection on that. It's just a handful of people that are really loud. Do you know what I mean?
Good grief. I mean, you see them on holiday. I have to, in fairness, whenever we go away on holiday. We went to Turkey many, many years ago, and this particular resort didn't really, I don't know, must have been a new flight or something from Belfast International, because didn't seem to know Northern Ireland people at all. First of all, they thought we were American, because they knew that. Because they say, are you English? We're like, no, because I have to admit, none of us ever want to admit we're English when we're away, because the English aren't generally liked in a lot of places when you go on holiday.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, I hate to say it, but so we always say, no, we're Irish, or we're Northern Irish, or if you're really stuck and they ask you if you're Scottish, you just go yes. But they know that there's something different. But yeah, the English have a terrible reputation.
Yeah.
In Spain and places like that.
I was going to say, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, anything that you say in the next kind of couple of sentences, I'm going to agree with you on, because it's like we have got a bad reputation. I mean, it's a shame, because like at the moment we're on such a, as a country, as sort of the England kind of thing. I'm specifically saying England rather than like the United Kingdom, because I know that Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland, they don't all consider themselves, all part as one and stuff like that. So I'm just, I don't know, making everyone happy, I suppose, but tiptoeing around everything.
Complicated situation.
Yeah, exactly. But we're all feeling quite patriotic and quite, like proud of the team and stuff, at the moment. But it's horrible that it's got that underlying negativity there as well. That why can't we all just be pleased?
I don't understand it. I really don't.
No.
England have done well, and by all accounts from other people I'm hearing, you did very well the other night because you got a penalty that you shouldn't get. This is all the talk I'm hearing at the moment about this penalty. You should have got that penalty. You should have got that penalty. I didn't watch it. I think I was watching Loki when it was on. So that's my excuse. I couldn't comment. I'm just hearing it from several sources saying they should have got that penalty. I don't know whether that was an automatic win for you at that point or not, because I think the last World Cup that I really enjoyed was, this is a long time ago, Italian 90, because the Cameroons were extremely vicious and kicked the hell out of the Italians and the English team every time they played anybody. They kicked all around them. It was some of the most violent football that you could imagine, and I really enjoyed it at the time. Just for that.
I was going to say, and also, may I just point out as well, the fact that I said the sentence that I watched it. What I mean by that is that I'm either playing a game and sat in the same room, or I'm looking at something on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. So I'm not actually physically watching it, but I am in the room, so I can hear what's going on, and then I kind of jump every time everybody reacts that's in the room with me. Like obviously when there's a goal or whatever. So yeah, but I think it was just the national anthem part that really upset me, really. So
that's terrible. I would feel exactly the same. I would feel exactly the same, because that's just unnecessary and it's bad sportsmanship.
Yep, definitely. So boo.
Exactly. Boo to them. Boo to them. But our souls honest to goodness.
Well, I mean, Joanne, we've been going on for about an hour now. So,
yes.
I know. But it's been fun having a good old general chit chat. So it's actually been quite interesting. So, like finding out a little bit more about sort of Northern Ireland and things like that. A lot of stuff that I don't know, because I'm quite funny and cocky kind of thing, but I'm also quite naive at certain things as well. So, it's nice to learn these things. But I was going to say, did you have a story of the week that you wanted to maybe round the episode out with?
Yeah, well, it's actually a very short one.
Well, I'll bring another one then.
A couple, but this is a wee short one, because I was sitting at James and I've seen it actually. This is about Father's Day. The UK's best dad joke has been selected. Do you agree? Now, obviously, James isn't a father. Well, maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he is somewhere. I'm making a lot of assumptions there. But I just thought, I'd seen this joke and I thought, well, do you know the way I can't tell jokes?
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the mixture of James and his sarcastic sense of humour and his play on words and the fact that I can't tell jokes. I thought this was kind of a good combination. So it's the world's best dad joke can be revealed after thousands of funny fathers battled it out in a competition that was no laughing matter. More than 2,700 gag-loving dads submitted their very best or worst jokes in celebration of Father's Day, which I admit was last month, but sure, what the hell.
Yep.
Hashtag best dad jokes was trending on Twitter as fathers battled it out to win the Aldi Mamia best dad joke competition. Stand-up comedian Mark Watson was enlisted to judge the competition and picked father of two, Austin May from Bedworth, as the overall winner. And the joke is, and I will try and read this out normally without making a whole week of it. I once hired... You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So the joke is, I once hired a limo, but when it arrived, the guy driving it walked off. I said, "Excuse me, are you not going to drive me?" The guy told me that the price didn't include a driver. So I'd spend £400 on a limo and have nothing to show for it. So that's possibly the cleanest thing I might have ever said on this podcast. But there was other there was other entries that this comedian also rated as well.
Okay.
Why did the man fall down the well? Because he didn't see that well. Oh dear goodness. What did the pirate say on his 18th birthday? Eh, matey? I don't get that.
I don't get that one.
No. What did the pirate on his 80th? What did the pirate say?
Say it again. Sorry.
Maybe that's not his 18th birthday either. I've just realised. What did the pirate say on his 80th birthday? I matey. Oh, I matey.
Oh, the pirate. I thought you said parrot at first.
Yes. And the fact I also said he was 18. Oh yeah, I'm yeah. This is still me being shit at jokes. Someone has glued my pack of cards together. I don't know how to deal with it. Oh no. What do you call a zombie who cooks stir fries? Dead man walking. Walking. Walking.
Dead man walking, yeah.
I was wondering why the frisbee kept looking bigger and bigger, and then it hit me. Oh dear goodness. I was stood behind a customer at an ATM and he turned around and said, "Could you check my balance?" So I pushed him. His balance wasn't that great. What did the daddy buffalo say to his son when he left for work? "Bye, son."
Oh, God.
Oh, here we go. What do you call a blind dinosaur? This is quite topical.
There we go.
Oh, do you think he saw us? Oh, that's so old. Oh, my goodness. That is so apparently but it's the guy who judged the jokes. He said that it was trying to let me see, what does he say? Blah 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 blah. No, he didn't actually say that. He said explaining what makes the ideal dad joke. He said the perfect dad joke has got to be equal parts cringe and cheese, which I still think cheese is more pizza.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. Yeah. It's got to make your kids embarrassed, be in the same room as you, but still make them laugh. I'd say, yeah. A lot of those I probably just would have got up and left.
Yeah, I definitely would have eye rolled with a lot of them.
Yeah. I think the chauffeur one's kind of clever. First time I read it, I didn't get it. And then it was like, oh, yeah. That's kind of clever. It's a clever one. It's a clever dad joke, if there's such a thing, that can be.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap up the episode. What do you think, Joanne?
I think so too. I'm just being tortured here by a small fly. No word of a lie. Just buzzing right my head. Fuck's sake. So if you hear me squeak at any point, it's only because I'm just trying to get rid of a fly. So yeah, it's a good time to go.
Okay, fantastic. Well, in that case then, Joanne, I think we've been talking enough Codswallop this week. I have been Gemma.
And I've been Joanne. I've been James if you want. Or I've been James.
I'm James, indeed.
Excuse me while I just flick my hair.
Yes. I'm so amazing. I'm James.
Hi, I'm host.
Oh, I live in the country. Again, indeed. Oh, all right, whatever. I miss you, James.
You're needed here, son.
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of, yeah.